Hello friends, welcome back to this channel. Today I am here with another topic of class, all the classes we can see, and because it is a topic from grammar portion, so I am covering all the grammar portions, and please comment so that I can come up with those portions as well which I'm skipping. So right now I am here today with subject verb concord, or we call it agreement. What is the agreement between subject and verb? If one subject is used, what kind of subject it will take, verb it will take, and if one kind of verb is used, what kind of subject it will take. We'll see in this video. And second thing is, it's not about main verbs, it's about auxiliary verbs. Auxiliaries, as you might have gone through my previous video, and auxiliaries is the types of we can say verbs in the parts of speech, the first video of grammar. You might have known what does auxiliaries mean. So auxiliaries mean helping verbs usually. So we will deal with in this very video about that. So about the basic rule, that means thumb rule, we say there is a thumb rule, or basic rule which states that all singular subjects take singular verb and all plural subjects take plural verb. This is simple because it's obvious and it's clear that whenever there will be singular subject, it will take a singular verb. Whenever there is plural subject, it will take a plural verb. Like the list of items is on the desk. Over here is used with the list of items, because list of items is a singular subject and is the singular verb. So here we are saying, if we will take example of plural, they are going to the market. They is a plural verb subject, and are is a plural verb. Okay. Now coming to the very first rule, which states that two singular subjects connected by either or neither nor require a singular verb. Whenever there will be two subjects, but they will be connected by neither nor or either or, they will take a singular verb. Example, neither my uncle nor my aunt. These are two singular subjects. Is at home. Neither nor or either or. Whenever two subjects will be connected by these, two singular subjects will be connected by these, they will take singular verb. That was the first rule. Rule number second states that use plural verbs with two or more subjects connected by and. As you know that if there are subjects, whether they are plural or singular, but if they are connected by and, you will take a plural verb. Like a car and a bike, these are two singular subjects, are my means of transport. So here I have used plural verb because these two singular subjects are connected by a conjunction and they make it a plural subject. So that was rule number 2. Rule number 1 is done, basic rule is done. Now we'll go to rule number 3. Sometimes the subject is separated from the verb by such words. Sometimes there are words after the subject, and there are certain words which it seems as if they are making it plural, but you'll see what happens. As long as is a word, or as well as is a word, besides not, if these words are used after subject before verb, then what you do, these words or phrases are not part of the sentence subject, and ignore them and use verb as per subject, singular or plural. What you have to do, if you are just reading the sentence and you see that subject is there and after subject these phrases or words are used, and what you will do, you will ignore these phrases or words. What you will do, you will just go through the subject, whether that is singular or plural. If it will be singular, you will use singular verb. If it's plural, you will use plural verb. Example is given over here. The politician along with the newsman is expected shortly. Newsman it's a plural, but we are not talking about the subject. We are talking about politician. So the politician along with newsman is expected shortly. Here singular subject, so we have used singular verb. If it would have been plural subject, it would have been plural verb. This phrase does not have any kind of effect on the use of verb. Now parenthesis. Rule number 4, parenthesis. whatever description of any word is given in brackets, or any kind of sort of description is there, or any sort of reference is there, it is not a part of the subject. And use subject, use as it was over here, use as per the singularity or plurality of the subject, whether the subject is singular or plural, use accordingly, because parenthesis is not part of the subject. Like Rohit and his trusty Munib, this is the parenthesis. You are seeing that it is in the bracket, and you are able to say it that this there is another person, but we don't give it any kind of importance. So the Rohit simply takes this parenthesis, sentence with parenthesis, simply takes verb as per the subject. Rohit is singular, so we have to use singular verb over here. Now coming to the rule number 5, it is in the sentence beginning with here and there. Whenever there are sentences beginning with here and there, what you will do, you will truly follow the subject. Subject follows the verb. Where you will see that subject follows the verb, because look, sometimes subject comes late in the sentence. It's not that a subject will be always there in the front. No, sometimes it's late in the this sentence. So you have to figure out where the subject is, and accordingly you have to use verb. Like over here, there are 4 hurdles to jump. So hurdles is the subject, so it's plural, so that's why we have used are over here. Likewise, another sentence is there. There is a high hurdle. That means it's singular, high hurdle to jump. So it is used as per the subject. So first you need to figure out where the subject is, and accordingly you will use these verbs. Now rule number 6, use a singular verb with distances, periods of time, sum of money when considered as unit. So that means whenever you are using distance, when you are using periods of time, when you are using sums of money as a unit, whether you are using 10 rupee a note. So 10 rupee is a high price for anything. So that means 10 rupee is a basic unit over here. Whenever you use these things as basic unit, distance, period of time, or sum of money, you will use singular verb with these. 5 years, it seems to be plural, but it is used as a unit over here for offense, sentence for offense. So that's why he says 5 years is a maximum sentence for that offense. For this kind of offense, the basic unit, the basic thing, the basic of this sentence is 5 years. So it's a kind of a unit over here. That's why we have used singular verb. Like $10 is a high price to pay. As I was telling you, that $10 for this very pen is a high price to pay. So that means we are taking $10 as a unit price over here. So whenever you are using unit prices or unit periods of time or unit distances, you will use singular verb. Number 7, with collective nouns, whenever you are using, as I have described collective nouns as well earlier in parts of speech. So here you will see, if rule number 7 states that if you have collective noun in your sentence, such as a group or a jury or a family or audience and population as a subject, then what you will do, the verb might be singular or plural. It depends on the intent of the writer. That means what kind of this intent writer has, what kind of what does writer want to say. In that very context, he will use this verb. It's not that he'll use singular, it's wrong, or he'll use plural, it's wrong. No, he can use singular or plural. Both are correct over here. Most of the jury is here or are here. So jury is a plural now. Collective noun. So collective noun here takes singular verb as well and plural verb as well. It's up to you whether to use singular or plural. Now rule number 8. When I means me. When I is one of the two subjects connected by either or neither nor, put it second and follow it with a singular verb. This is very important, that whenever you are going to use I, but there are two subjects. I is one of them, whether singular or plural, but I is one of them, I is singular. what you will do, you will use it on the second place. First you will use another subject, then you will use this I, and you will use am with it. But the condition is that the two subjects are connected by either or neither, nor, or nor. So this is the statement. This is the this condition over there, that when the two subjects are connected by neither, nor, either, or, you will use this subject I on the second place and use a helping verb am with it. That happens in present only. So rule number 9 now, the subordinate clauses. Again, I'm referring to the previous video which I have given on clauses. You might have gone through that as well. So subordinate clause, you might be knowing, subordinate clause means independent clause which is not independent, which does not independently make any sense, proper sense. So what you will do, the subordinate clause that come between the subject and the verb do not affect their agreement. So that means whenever there is any kind of dependent clause in between the subject and the verb, it does not have any effect on the agreement. That means what kind of verb we will use. And that means what kind of verb we will use. Look, the subject is here, the dog, who is chewing on my jeans. Who is chewing on my jeans does not make complete sense. So that's why it's a subordinate clause. So here the dog is always very good could have been the sentence, which is independent, or we can say main clause or independent clause. So the dog is usually very good. Here comes a subordinate clause, who is chewing on my jeans. So who is chewing on my jeans does not have any effect on the subject verb agreement. The dog is a singular subject, so we have taken singular verb over here. Now rule number 10, sometimes subjects appear after verb mainly in questions. Make sure you can accurately identify the subject before deciding which verb to use. It means that sometimes what happens, this subject comes after verb. Likewise, we ask questions sometimes. So this usually these subjects, they come after verb. So what you have to use, you have to accordingly first figure out, as it was in previous one of the rules, that you have to figure out where the rule is, where the subject is, and when you will figure out where the subject is, you will figure out whether the subject is singular or plural. Accordingly, you will use the verb. So here where are the pieces of this puzzle? We have used pieces, so that's why are is used, because pieces is a plural subject, so we have used plural verb. Now rule number 11. The verb is singular if the two subjects separated by and refer to same person or thing, such as whole. Look, this is very important rule, as it was rule number 2. Rule number 2. Anything connected by and becomes plural, whether they are the two singular subjects. But this one is exceptional. If you have two subjects, but they are connected by and, but they refer to one whole thing, one same thing, or one same person, like bread and butter. Bread and butter is hard to earn. That bread and butter here means the livelihood. So here red beans and rice is my favorite. Red bean and rice here pertains to a kind of a whole thing. So that's why it takes singular verb. So you need to take care of such exceptions, that sometimes it happens that a question is being asked, you take it as rule number 2, that any two subjects connected by and are taken as plural. But think before that if those two subjects refer to the same thing, or we can say same thing as a whole or same person as a whole, you have to use singular verb for that. So that was all in this very video. Hope you liked it. Thank you very much.